Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the website. I was just saying about Crispin, who's been in touch with me. He was heading up Bequeathed, which the goal of which was to offer wills. They were probably part of the free will month, that type of thing. I'm not entirely sure of the background, but they were encouraging people to leave money to charities in their will, and that's how they've built their list. So they've got a very big list. It's something like 150,000 visitors to their website each week. So they are changing tack a bit. They've become myintent.life, and I just love the website address. And what they're doing is they're becoming a much more comprehensive end of life planning operation. So what they want to do is they want to signpost people to all the different services. So they've got lawyers on there. They're going to have doulas, and all celebrants,
Brilliant.
all of us who do end of life
Yeah.
work. And because Crispin knows about the before I go facilitators, he was like, people need to know about this group of professionals. So he's got in touch with me, and he said he would really wants us to be listed on there. He recognises that we don't earn the kind of money that lawyers do. So they're charging people who've got really established kind of professions like lawyers a fee to be listed. We're going to be listed for free.
Brilliant.
So what he wants from us is we'll have a free listing, and we'll just monitor how many clients come our way. And if it turns out to be very successful and we get a lot of clients coming our way, then we'll look at, is there a small yearly fee, or is there a kind of percentage kind of referral
Yeah.
rate? At the moment, what he'd like us to do is he'd like us to provide content.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. We get a free listing on a very well visited site with, that offers this comprehensive end of life planning services, and we provide content.
Yeah. Sounds good to
I
me.
think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So I'll just share with you the website just so you get a little sense. So what he said is the website is still being built. So
Yeah. I've got it up on my other screen at
have
the
you got
minute.
it
I'm
up?
having a look at
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Looks great.
I'll just share it here so that you get a sense of it. Um, but you can see that it's got a lot of stuff here.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't think they've got the directory up
No.
on here yet.
Yeah. Everything kind of a lot of it just says coming soon.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's great.
It's quite a
So
nice clean site, isn't it, though? It sort of looks
Yeah.
quite attractive when you go into it.
it does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Um, and I think this is something it's wise for us to be involved in this.
Yeah.
I can't really see any downsides, if I'm honest. I mean, the only downside is that it might not be a success. um, but given that they've already got a lot of traffic,
Mhm.
and they've already had a very successful business doing what they've been doing with wills, and that they're wanting to expand, and as an organization, they know about end of life planning facilitators and the need for
Yeah.
support in end of life work. I think they'll showcase our work sensitively, and it could be just a really good way of flagging what we do.
What are
What
they
I
looking
really
for in the
like
way
is,
of content? Sorry.
I was going to say, what I really like is on the About Us section, it talks about regulated partners, and it says, we know there are a lot of people claiming to be experts. We only work with professional and regulated companies. If you need it, they can provide personalized support. So that's going to show that, if we're listed on there, people are far more likely to, I think, right, okay, I'm going to use Emma because she's on there, rather than anything else that we could, they could stumble upon
Yeah.
us on. So, and because they're so well established, and because they're also listing like kind of lawyers and all of that kind of stuff, it gives us real good like kudos to be on there. So I think it looks great.
Yeah, yeah. So what I said to him, they're obviously working behind the scenes like crazy to get it off the ground. So I said that I would send the stuff over by the weekend. So what he wants from us, and I'll just put out a little form, but basically he needs a photograph, he needs like all your contact details, Calendly details, whatever it is, however you want people to contact you. And then he wants 5 pieces of content. So I don't know if we could all produce one piece. And what he's saying, in the first instance, just stuff from your own sites already, so anything that you've put out on Instagram or any of the social media platforms. And obviously in time, I think they'll look to be getting more specific stuff. But we're really good at repurposing what we put out there anyway. So if we, between us, I don't know, how does that sound actually? I know that Emma, you put out a lot of stuff, so you'll have things you can pull up. Jeanette and Anne, would you have something that you could offer?
I think I have a blog that it was on my website, so I could quickly just have a look at that. I wrote it quite a while ago, so I maybe just need to have a wee look at it. But yeah, I could do some.
It doesn't need to be a huge stress, because this whole thing is they're just wanting stuff in, so that they can, as they launch the directory, they've obviously got stuff to put on it.
Yeah.
So we need all our basic contact details, a photograph, and a piece of some content. And how does that sit with you?
I don't have any content yet, but it might be the kick up the backside that I need to create something fairly rapidly.
You want to kick up the backside, otherwise I suspect me and Emma could produce 2.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a go, and if not, something can be added after on it. Do you know how it's kind of going to show? So when we say content, what kind of...
Well, at the moment, I think
it
just wants the links to what we've done.
Okay.
So I think it's as simple as that. After that, it's just going to be in discussion with them. I do want to write something about, my piece around how linking it to wellness, but maybe that's not the target audience for this, because these are people who are already looking at end of life planning, so they don't need that spin on it to get them to think about it. But let me see what I can do. But yeah, I don't have anything pre-written at all yet. I'm very much you can have it sort of there, if it unfolds for you in the next few days as a kind of inspiration.
I'll do my best. I'll have a go, but I can make no promises.
That's all fine.
Yeah, I'd very much like to be part of it, and it's like I say, I want to get going, and it's all these little things that are the kick up the backside.
Yeah, and I think, who knows what it will result in, but I think, like Emma says, it'll make us look much more professional, because we're listed alongside people who are already recognized as sound professionals in our culture. It'll expose us to a lot of people who are curious about end of life planning, and who knows, does the media pick up on something, and invite one of us to talk? You just don't know where these kind of public spaces lead to.
I could probably do something quite quickly actually about my sort of why I got involved in this.
Yeah.
Because although I've not actually written that down, I've got that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's a little bit of inspiration. So that's it. So if I put I'll just put a list in the post I put in Circle. Oh no, actually I'll tell you what, because I'm going to list this video in Circle. Underneath it, I'll just list in the comments the things that you need to send me, so that anyone else watching it can also do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just
well done.
either message me through Circle or send an email to my Rachel@transformingloss.com email, and we'll go from there. I'll pass it all on, and I'll just keep you posted with any information I get back.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I feel really
Really?
excited about it. I feel honoured, really, that we've been contacted, and I think it's testament to the long-term work that Jane has done in building up the facilitation as a thing, as a profession. And we're the ones carrying this torch forward. We are forming a profession in our culture.
Yeah.
Which is why it's a bit rocky at the start.
Rachel, have you ever been in touch with the Society of Later Life Advisors, SOLA, SOLLA?
No, I haven't. Let
And
me
I
just.
think they were at one time when we were in Before I Go, I saw their logo at
But
the bottom
yeah,
of
we were
the website.
affiliated. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were affiliated with them
Yeah.
at that point. You have to pay for that
Yeah.
and things, but we were before I go was, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because I think even if you weren't affiliated to them, if you had a chat with them about what we do, I'm an associate or affiliate member of SOLA.
Oh,
So I can only recommend solicitors or sorry, no, financial advisors who are linked to SOLA. But then it means that I know that they are people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I have got a very strong relationship with one of those here in Northern Ireland. They want me to talk a wee bit about the work, my work. Now, my work's a lot broader than the end of life planning. It's part of a retirement planning, end of life, but also just life coaching in general, and well-being. So but I just find that they're really, really good because they are looking very sensitively about people coming towards the end of life and care plans
mm-mm.
and I just find it a great organization, and I think it would be worth having a chat with them just about the circle and Dandelion and
Yeah.
what it is that we do.
Yeah, that would be great. I will have a look at that. Thank you.
Because I think whenever I look through the affiliates, I think I'm maybe the only person there and across the UK from our group, if you know what I mean. So,
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
not heard
um,
of them before, to be fair, but I'll be going
yeah.
looking them up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's SOLA, SOLLA,
Mm.
or Society of Later Life Advisors.
Yeah.
Great.
And they provide their advisors, but they have to become a full member, they have to do some extensive training.
Mm.
But they're linked with lawyers and they do some similar stuff, so there's a lot of crossover.
Mm-mm. Oh, well, that would be good. Again, I think anything that gives us a little boost in terms of our kind of
Mm.
professional rating uh, is great. And I'll just quickly say, actually, while we're together, my sort of idea of doing a road trip to tour an end of life planning workshop. I don't know if that's something that you'd be interested in, Jeanette, because I know.
Wasn't sure if it was extending to Northern Ireland.
Well, let's see. I can fly from Glasgow for reasonably cheap.
And
So
so I
I'm
guess
just.
yeah, we could talk about now our local libraries did a whole big end of life um like a whole day or 2 days where they invited lots of people to talk about wills and all the sorts of things that they need to do, people need to do at end of life, and they had great speakers. So I would say that even speaking to the library, they would be
Mm.
really, they could host it and it would be much more public then and they can promote it.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
idea.
brilliant. Okay, well, let's just stay in touch. I'm beginning
Yeah.
to, I've got a list of community cafes that might host um, an end of life workshop. So it's just gradually coming.
Mhm.
So so we'll just keep talking about it. But
That's
I can
exciting.
fly from Glasgow, so so I will come and visit you, Jeanette.
So, because I thought, oh, we're probably too far away.
Well, like I'm in the Hebrides, so I'm just about as
Yeah.
far away from anyone as possible.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
true. So I'm thinking that Lisa, she lives a good bit further north. So maybe if I have a wee chat with her and see if she would be interested in, doing something maybe with the library up there. I don't know,
yeah,
maybe with the libraries in Coleraine or somewhere.
that'd be brilliant. I think because I'm thinking
Ballymena.
that the more like physical contact we can have as an
Mhm.
organization between ourselves and then
Yeah.
with our potential clients, I think that really builds a kind of grassroots network. That's what I'm hoping. I'm sort of thinking grassroots at the moment rather than anything
Mm.
huge, because I think once we've got a much stronger base where we're communicating much more within Circle, where we're much more used to each other's way of working, I think we'll be better supports for each other and we'll find ways of collaborating so that our work develops.
I was
Yeah.
wondering if, because my website guy is notoriously slow, and I know that I got the logos and everything, and he still hasn't put them up there. But I'm sort of glad in a way, because I was wondering if there was some way we could embed a link to the site, because anytime I try to put a link, it comes into my login details, if you know what I mean. So I haven't been able to successfully give him a login that somebody from outside could use. So I'm just
Okay, that's really helpful. I will give you one because I am currently inviting people into our free tab. So I'm testing the link. I have
okay.
done it successfully recently. I just went into Circle and there was someone who'd just shown off and she'd found
Oh,
the link
yeah.
from somewhere I posted it and she'd managed to get in. So there is a working link and I'll give it to you.
Great. That's
I'm on
super.
my,
Yeah, I could do with that as well.
yeah, I will
Yeah.
send that out.
Brilliant.
And I'm just about to go and meet the web developers, so I'll have a proper update on our formal website very soon. It's coming.
Great.
It's all in the pipeline. And then obviously once we've got a website, you can link to our website, and that will also link into Circle. So
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I need the link for the form for the microsite as well, because I don't think I've done it. And I couldn't find it, and that's just because it's been on my to-do list forever.
Yeah, me
yeah,
too.
and
Mine
because
too.
it's slow
It needs
from
to come
my
back
end.
up to the top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
I
great.
started it and then I thought I just left it and then I forgot all about it again. So I
Yeah.
thought, well, that question's going to take too long to answer, so I went away.
I'm sure I have it on an email somewhere, but if you're sending it out, it would
Yeah.
be great. Or
Yeah,
publishing it.
I'll post it in Circle so that
Yeah.
everyone can
Thank
access
you.
it.
Can I ask another slightly different question?
Yeah.
The workbook, that cover looks amazing. Couldn't obviously see too much of the inside, but I'm sure it will be brilliant. Can I just check? So it looks like you're running the course live over 4 weeks.
It's
Is that
a
different
oh,
course?
okay, so they're different. So the
That's
Embrace
what I wasn't
Success
sure.
is a live course just because I suddenly felt like running a course and I put it
Yeah.
out there. So that's different. The course, the book companion course is in Circle already. So
I
if you
just haven't
go
had
to
a look
courses,
yet.
it's like I think it's the one with the skeleton waving that says personal end of life plan, something like that.
Right.
So that goes through each section of the book as I've got it. So this is the book. It's I've been going through it and editing it because some of the formatting it's too bold, like the
Yeah.
lines are too bold. So I've edited it all and I've added a lot more pages so that there's enough space for people to keep updating, and so I'm hoping that it will be a really functional book. So with that book, people will get the link into the course. And
So hence the pricing of the workbook is inclusive of that companion course.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other course is a totally separate course.
Yeah.
And it's just on Eventbrite, it doesn't make it obvious that it's 4 weeks, because when you go into it, you can only see the first date. I don't know. I often find this on Eventbrite with people's events. It's
really hard because if you put it at multiple dates, then what it does is it tries to sell them as separate events.
Yeah.
So that's
I don't know
how
if there's anything
it
more in the detail that can sort of suggest that it is a 4-week course that will run on.
Or in the banner
in the body
as well, you could put all the dates on the image on your banner.
That's true.
It's just a thought. I just thought it's not immediately obvious to people. They might think that it's and the 53 quid or whatever, is that for the 4 weeks or is that for 1 week? Just to give you that feedback.
Thank you. I appreciate
I don't find Eventbrite particularly easy to navigate, but I know it is kind of the easiest thing to get things out there on. So
yeah, it's frustrating because that particular thing, with courses that run over a period of time, it doesn't list them very well.
No.
But I made a note of what you'd said in Circle, Anne, and I'm going to go into Eventbrite and tweak it today.
If it's possible, I just thought it was good for you to know that from somebody just going into it, not really knowing exactly what it was.
Thank you.
Mostly
my plan was just because I was feeling inspired. I thought if I've got it out there on Eventbrite, it means that I put together all the content, so it's all ready, and then I can run it again later in the year.
Fantastic.
But if it's out there and I know that someone might sign up, then I definitely plan it.
Yes.
Rachel, is the workbook available on a PDF, so you can fill it in online?
It is. It's taken a bit of time to do it because it hasn't actually been as straightforward as it would seem, because I I signed up for a PDF filler and I created the whole workbook, and then it took the information and sent it to me. And I had weeks of conversation with them, and actually there was no way they could switch that off. I'm like, this is confidential information. I do not want to be sucking it out. Anyway,
No.
so I have now found. I found a solution. I found another PDF thing to do it with. So I'm currently doing that, and I was just testing it. And there are a few editorial things just because of the way the field fit onto the background. I need to change that. So I've just completed the printing one, and I'm in touch with the printers now to get the API to go on our website so that it can be sold. So the printing one is on the threshold. The PDF one is my work probably for next Monday. That'll be what I'm working on.
What provider have you used for the PDF then? Who did you end up using?
Who have I gone with? I'll have to email it to you.
Email it to me because it'd be worth looking at that for some of the stuff that
so
I'm doing.
many, honestly. And then I asked ChatGPT to help me. I was like, please. Honestly, it's brilliant.
No. But yeah, no, I'm like, if someone else has already done the work, just tell me what you've used and I'll use it.
Yeah. So with the end of life plan printed one, that's Lulu Press, and they're brilliant. Their systems so far are brilliant. I've just produced a children's book in the same way, and these are children's books that I will make available. They're not dealing with end of life matters. They're dealing mostly with kind of abuse and things like that.
Yeah.
I'll sort of point them to you just in case they would ever be useful. But I'm really enjoying it. I like the quality of the book. And their support team was brilliant. I just had such a nice meeting with them yesterday.
Good.
So yeah.
Good
Well
stuff.
done.
Good. So it's really nice to see you all. I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We'll be on Mindhead.live.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.